So, hi guys, welcome to the first live stream on my channel. Joining me tonight is Stop-a-Doodle-Doo, Jason, Dave, Christian, electric mountain biker, Jonathan, MTB Derbyshire, and tonight's guest is Rich, RHP Mountain and Trail.
Hello.
So here we are again, another live stream. So the first live stream was actually on Christian's channel, which there is a link for in the description. So if you want to head there after this one, you can catch up there.
You see my daughter just come in then and try and take over. Get out. Literally, she's not been in the room all night, and then as soon as we go live, she's straight in. Hi.
That's always the case.
A bit of the
They know.
Yeah.
I've just put mine to bed, but literally just, and she said, "You can go downstairs if you want, Daddy." And she took up a big metal cup and a pen. She said, "If I want you, I'll bash this as hard as I can so you can hear me."
Yeah, first comment.
Give her a mobile phone.
Hey, you're right.
Good evening. Just waiting for a few more comments.
Yeah, can we bring up that Ozlar's TV one and see if anyone can actually make out what it says? Because I've got no idea on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone know what that is?
No.
I guess hi, Ozlar's.
Come on, Boslars, give us a clue.
Yeah.
We're getting a few coming through now. I'll just quickly display.
Have you dyed your hair, Dave?
Dyed my hair?
Yeah.
Yeah. Red with Oslo.
It looks very dark today.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has the Dyson moved as well?
Yeah.
Dyson's gone.
Dyson couldn't have gone, surely.
Oh no, it's still there.
Yeah.
Isn't that exactly where it was last week, Dave? Is it actually moved at all?
It's not.
No, it's moved. Moved slightly. It's moved slightly.
Yeah. I bet somebody told you it was one of those robotic hoovers and you believed them. So you think that when you go out, it does all the work for you. Well, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Right, so first topic I thought we could bring up is something we've discussed actually recently, but what is the worst ride we've ever had? So we want to answer that one first.
Dolby's mine.
Go on, Jason. I'll let you answer.
The worst one was when I lived in Croydon, and there was a lad who used to come out riding with us, and we used to do Tuesday night rides. And one week he said, "You've got to come down my way. You know, there's loads of great riding." So we all piled down his way, went out, and not only were the trails absolutely terrible, but he took us down this one that had hawthorn bushes down either side, and they'd literally just been trimmed that day. And between, I think there's 6 of us, we counted up, we had something like 38 punches. We ran out of tubes, we ran out of patches and everything. And me and another guy, literally to get home, because it was a long way, we were riding for about half a mile, then having to stop, pump our tyres up, pedal for half an hour, half a mile again, pump the tyres up. And it was the most miserable experience of my life. There was nothing good on that ride, nothing.
Sounds fun.
Oh dear.
I can see Dizzy's chipping in with Healy now, but Healy, I've been worse places than Healy, Dizzy. It wasn't actually that bad. I mean, for what it is, for the size of the hill and all that, it's all right. I believe it used to be a lot better than it currently is. Since they felled it. I mean, put it this way: if it was on my doorstep, I'd be very happy. But driving 2 hours. No, it's not worth a 2-hour drive to.
It's been a while since I went. I've only done it once. But
has anybody else here been to Sherwood Pines?
It's my local. It's only about half an hour down the road.
Is it?
In that respect, it's okay. If you're coming from any further, you've absolutely wasted your time. I mean, it's
rubbish, isn't it?
It's rubbish. It absolutely is rubbish. The fact that it's so near to places that are decent, it really hurts it. But there are people who just never go anywhere. But I mean, it just. I put a comment on earlier to you. I think it was in Jason that one bloke he just constantly on commute, it just constantly goes around the place, and I just think, what are you doing?
Yeah.
There's so much better out there.
It's probably all right if you just want to use it as exercise, but I think they've even demolished the dirt jumps now, haven't they?
Yeah, because apparently they had, I forgot, was it something like 3-4 ambulance calls out in 1 week?
Yeah.
And they just said it's just, in the current climate, it's too much to take on. It's just, they demolished it. But yeah, for fitness, if you just go flat out, it's okay, but there's nothing challenging about it at all. No.
That's where I broke my ribs there on a stupid bit of gravel.
Oh yeah, I remember
it's got
that.
its challenges.
That was probably the worst ride I've ever had.
Here you go. Jason needs a question for you.
Well, obviously you get one every time. You got a little share ball, haven't you?
They demolished them because of COVID.
What was that, Dave? You there, Dave?
Jumps at Sherwood Pines. Yeah, I think they did. I just saw that they had been demolished because they were getting too many
I was
incidents.
going to say that they demolished the
Yeah, dirt jumps at Sherwood Pines. I think they were currently getting a lot of accidents there because no one
because of COVID.
Well, no one wore helmets. People would turn up and do the massive dirt jumps with no helmets, no knee pads, nothing, on stupid bikes, and they'd just send it and crash. There was a kid when I was there, no helmet, no brakes, on a Carrera, and it was like madness. It was like, I don't know. I think they all want to go home in an ambulance there.
I'd say
the gap jump there.
Yeah. All gap jumps, all sorts of doubles, all big dirt jump style stuff. But,
It's one place I've never been, Sherwood Pines, actually, to be honest.
Yeah,
I don't really want to do it.
To be that much, but
No, it's too
I wouldn't worry.
Derby Forest was the same for me. That place was just, that killed me, that one. I've never been so happy to finish a ride as that. That was just, you just felt like it was like a massive version of Van Degler, you know, like all uphill with crappy downhill bits. I think the last 3 runs, they were all right, but miss out. Literally, you could just dodge 24 mile of that 26 loop. It was just crap. I hated it.
At least Sherwood Pines is short.
Even in the video, you can see I'm not happy. I'm just like, this is so rubbish. What are we doing?
Did you do it on the e-bike?
Yeah, I did it on the e-bike and still hated it. And that's saying something. You know, normally, even Landegler, it turns good on the e-bike because you climb the hills and it's good fun. But at Dolby, it was just, sorry for the language, it was shit. I hated it.
It doesn't look very good, to be honest, from what I saw.
No.
Your video did a good job of making it look sort of okay-ish, I suppose. But...
Yeah. But I've also got to say, I don't want to sort of slag it off totally on that one, but we did find an off-piste run and that was good fun. So I'm sure there must be loads of cheeky trails, as they're called there, which are really good. But obviously we didn't.
There is some Sherwood Pines. There's some off-piste Sherwood Pines, but it's not got the elevation. It's got no. There's no hills there. Ian has put a point here in the comments about they are building some more trails up at the minute. I mean, I know that I'm in contact with the ranger at Sherwood Pines, and he's a good bloke, but they do a lot of work, but they can't change the general height. You know, they can't do anything about the topology of the place. So
yeah,
Ian talks a lot of sense, to be honest with you, because the next comment below that,
I've seen that
true as well.
I didn't mention that one.
Yeah, I haven't highlighted that one for obvious reasons.
Hey, Boslav has come back. Look, he's did go back up. I'm sure he come back. Did he put?
Yes, I did show
that's
that. Actually. Yeah.
So what was it? What did it mean?
I'm assuming you're just giving it a thumbs up.
Could be one of my students, to be fair.
Ah, cool.
Can't spell so.
The original looked like a Scandinavian language. You got any Scandinavian students?
No, not at the minute. But
you're working on it.
I'll try the Google Translator.
Because learning Norwegian or Danish or Swedish doesn't seem like the sort of activity that most kids would do out of school for fun, really.
No, true. Or anything, possibly, but...
I mean, I worked in Denmark for 6 months, and the only words I learned was tak, which is thank you, øl, which is beer, which sounds like ale, and killing, which is chicken, and that's it in 6 months. Yeah, Kylling, chicken.
You don't need
Well, at least you got
anything
chicken
else.
and a beer. What else did you eat when you were over there?
Lurpak.
Funny enough, we ate so well out there because it was when I worked for IBM, and they were giving us 80 quid a day for food and drink and stuff like that, thinking that we were having to pay for our lunches and everything else. But the office we were working in, it was free dinners, so we had 80 quid a night. So we went all around Copenhagen to every restaurant we could find, drank ourselves. It's ridiculous. It got that bad. I was flying out on a Monday, coming back on a Thursday night, and the girlfriend at the time on a Friday, she'd be like, right, should we go out? And I'd be like, no, I'm too tired. I can't face drinking anymore. I've been drinking all week.
Would it go that far, though? From all I hear about Scandinavian countries and beer, it'd probably buy you about 2 rounds, wouldn't it, then?
No, Denmark's not too bad. It's Norway and Sweden.
Sweden's bad, yeah.
Sweden's meant to be bad.
Denmark was about the same prices as Greater London, which is where I lived at the time anyway. So, anyway, it didn't cost me a thing, did it? It cost IBM. So.
Yeah, true.
There's Paul. Yeah, right, mate.
Paul again. And we've got a question for Dave here.
We're going to see this quite often.
Yeah, I'm in riding because I'm recovering from an injury with my arm, but it's caused by work, not by biking. And at the moment, I'm trying to sell my business because I can't actually do window cleaning anymore. So I'm in the process. I'm working like flat out at the minute, selling my business, getting it ready for sale. So I'm not even mountain biking's in the back of my mind at the minute. It's like I've got to find a new job, sort of new day job kind of thing. So that's going on at the moment. So yeah, and also we're in lockdown anyway, so I could only ride the Lickies really.
Yeah, it's all such
you could always.
Moment.
I don't know if that would make an entertaining video.
You could always do a carpet video that day.
Entertaining video, just sort of ride.
There you go. Speaking of jobs, there's a question.
I was just saying before we move on to that, Dave. I mean, you could just hoover yourself. Not hoover yourself. Video yourself hoovering the carpet. People would watch, and your carpet will get a hoover as well. And the other thing I was going to say as well, if you sell your business, then all your riding kit's got shine time on it. You'll have to get yourself some new riding kits.
I know.
You could charge them for advertising.
Yeah. Hey, is it true? I saw something on Facebook, one of the groups, that the Lickies was getting destroyed, or there was loads of people up there. They were saying the rubbish trails were being built. Sort of a bit of bad press about the place.
Yeah. What was that on? What was that on?
I think it was on. One of the Facebook groups. They mentioned it on there, saying that there's obviously people up there building sort of not great trails.
I saw that actually.
In ruining it.
Midlands.
Yeah, I haven't found out who it is yet. There's some people who do build decent stuff, and then there's people that just think that if they get rid of the first loamy section of soil, the first 5 inches, and they dig down to the clay, that's going to make a good trail. But the problem is, everywhere by us, Dave will say the same. It's all clay, and it's soft clay. So as soon as it gets saturated, it's a nightmare. So you're best leaving as much loam on the top to act as a sponge to wick it away. But there's people up there at the moment that are digging the loam out to make a bare path. And it's just it just turns into a river or a slip and slide, and it's no good. The Lickies is crap anyway in the winter because it just is too much clay, and the last 6 months has been absolutely horrendous.
It's not been great. Hey, at least you've got the Lickies. Better than some. I did a 16-mile loop and 65 foot of elevation, and that, I swear, was me just riding off the curb. It's rubbish where I am round here.
It's even worse because it's just clay, and it just gets to a point where it just becomes unrideable. You literally 5 or 6 inches of clay, and it's just there's no control whatsoever. You're taking your life into your own hands. But some people love it, but it's just.
Dimsdale on ride at the moment as well, apparently. I mean, speaking to Will the other day, and he's been Dimsdale walking. He said you couldn't ride your bike there at the moment. So
why don't you get some questions in from the comments? There's a few coming in from just after Slater MTB. Otherwise, I know we miss them all out last time. Didn't we? So like the muddy.
Get this one in. So, question to me: as I've started using DaVinci for editing recently, are you struggling, and did it take you long to get used to using the node system? The software have adding effects. To be honest with you, I did struggle initially. I had to ring Christian, so I haven't got a clue where to start with it.
You literally got a running tutorial, didn't you, on it?
Yeah,
there's no doubt, but say off well.
Once I learned the basics of it, I kind of learned myself everything else, and I'm getting there. Each time I upload like a cinematic edit, I'm trying something a bit different to what I tried the time before. So, I mean, I have got one coming out, a new channel trailer soon, which I won't go into much detail, but there's a new channel trailer coming out soon, so you'll be able to see if I've improved with the editing.
So good. We're gonna finish off James's question about what we do for a living, or is it
the jobs?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we got a bit sidetracked, didn't we? Yeah, I mean, I'm a printer, basically. I print food packaging for supermarkets, and there's not really a lot more I can say about that, really, other than I'm a key worker, and I work 12-hour shifts, and I've finished the night shift last night. I've not been in bed yet, so yeah.
Oh, blooming hell.
That's me. So go on, Rich. I'll let you go first, as you're next to me.
Oh wow, this is the one, isn't it? You know, so some people will either love it and go, "That's interesting," or hate it and unsubscribe from my channel.
Hired assassin.
Well, funny you should say that. Funny you should say assassin.
It does wield a chainsaw.
Yeah, I handle them in chainsaw. No, I'm a registered firearms dealer. I'm a gunsmith. So I mess around with guns all day. So
I'm definitely not unsubscribing in case you hunt me down. Then.
Well, there is that. So yeah, actually, I'm not far off 1,000 subscribers. I only need 200 more. So if I say, yeah, come on, subscribe, otherwise I'll come and sort you out. Like, you know, I might get.
Can't say that live on
there. I think everybody knows I'm joking. Honestly.
Go on then, Jonathan.
I'm a teacher. There you go. So I've been watching Gavin Williamson this evening. So if I look depressed and miserable, that's why.
What subject do you teach?
Well, what used to be, computer science. Well, it is computer science now. What used to be ICT and business studies as well. So my degree is in business studies, but I've fallen into the ways of computers along the way. So.
Right.
That's it. Move on.
Go on, Jason.
All right. No, mine's really interesting. I'm an IT middle manager for second biggest financial organization in the world, and I'm an IT change manager. Proper nerd. There we go.
That's why you ride so crazy. You get out. In fairness, IT people are some of the craziest people I've ever sort of met. They're on another level. And if you get in with them, yeah, they're boring, mate. They're bad. They're
awful.
They're bad. Yeah, you don't
Funny
want to
enough,
them.
the amount of times I've been told by people at work, this job and previous jobs, oh, you don't suit this type of job. Your personality, you strike me more as a joiner or a plumber or something. I don't know if to take it as a compliment, and I sort of do, really, because I don't want to be considered Mr. IT nerd, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
I never wanted to be in IT. When I was at school, all I wanted to do was work for the National Trust. And basically, my idea of what that was drive about in a Land Rover in the countryside, fixing things. And that's all I wanted to do. And then left school, left college, and my mum, here it goes. My mum said, "Oh, yeah, I think you should just fill out some CVs and send them off to various companies." And one of them was Prolific Unit Trust in Kendal, and I got an interview and I said, "Well, I might as well go for it." And there you go. I've been in IT ever since. But it was back in the days. I'm sure some of the older ones on here will remember that when we left school and college, literally you didn't apply for a job. You just sent off CVs to companies, and they got in touch with you and offered you a job. It was a very different world back then.
I think, to be honest with you, Jason, Paul's giving you the right job there, right? For you. Yeah, I think you do look like one of them.
I'm putting my thumbs up for that job as well. I wouldn't mind
thumbs up.
doing a bit of that.
I bet you want to your thumbs up.
I feel like it at the moment, obviously with homeschooling or home not schooling as the case is. We spent this morning, and I'm not joking, when I was supposed to be working.
Just out of interest.
Hey, say again?
I heard porn star, and then Jason go, yeah, so it's like homeschooling. What?
No, children's entertainment.
Hand over.
So this morning, while I was supposed to be working, I ended up making a paper aeroplane cat combination so we could throw it around the lounge to see if a paper aeroplane cat could fly or not. It wasn't part of homework, it was just, that's what she wanted to do. That's what we did.
So is there anything you'd like to add to what you're doing at the moment, Dave, or have you already said?
I'm unemployed at the minute, so I'm just I'm getting the dole soon. I'm just getting the dole for a bit. So yeah,
so that just leaves Christian then.
Yeah, so I guess my job's a bit like Chandler out of Friends, that even I'm not too quite sure what it is at times, but we do just it's sort of doing extracts on wages and time and attendance within a company on there. So yeah, I can't really sort of say the company. It's not something I can put on air kind of thing on that one. So
that's fair.
Yeah, no,
that sounds interesting.
Yeah, I like it. I'm proud of the company I work for.
It's interesting that you can't talk about it. That's
yeah. Well,
intriguing, I should say.
So we've got another question. Well, we've got a question from Greg Sharp, who's from America.
Yeah, he does some good videos. I like it.
Oh wow, nice.
Wonderful.
What's his channel?
Greg
Sharp.
Better end.
when he does all the big pine tree stuff, it looks fantastic.
Yeah,
I'd love to ride some.
Fantastic, isn't it?
Craig,
I'm sorry,
great.
So I've seen some of the stuff.
At the moment, I'm just ignoring everything right now in the world.
I think everybody who's watching should subscribe to his channel just for the fantastic places he rides.
Yeah. Do you know this is competition here, Rich? Yeah. Did you not watch Jason's video? So shut up promoting other channels and promote ours. All right. Dickhead.
Don't you find the Americans have the advantage of
just get him off that screen now, Mark, will you? Get him off and put him in the naughty corner.
Anyway, their advantage.
I'm gonna actually search for that Greg Sharp and have a little look at his channel now. Although all that's coming up
Americans don't ride in the wet though, do they? So
Abby Sharp attacks.
Has it been difficult finding replacement parts for maintaining your bikes? Is the question he's asking.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't really had to replace any parts, so I couldn't really answer that. But
rear shocks.
Got a bit of a story about that, hasn't he?
Yeah, my spider clutch went.
It's been bomb-proof. You know, Craig will be able to tell you how hard the specialised bikes are.
Why is it hard getting parts? Because they're not being made in China and being sent over.
Stock, aren't it? It's production. There's so many people that's bought bikes. It's just they can't keep up with demand.
Oh, is that what it is? It's just
a combination thing.
So, I did my spider clutch went on my bike, and that's 105 quid to fix it. But I thought I'm just going to try and break it down and see if I can fix it and get it going again. And sure enough, it did. So it saved me that money. So I guess my answer to that one would be I've been really trying to kind of recycle the parts that are on my bike and get the most out of them. And then when I need to do it, like the bottom bracket, I need to get a new one of them. I'll buy that, but I'll fit it myself. Because even if you get it into the shop, you're still looking at 4 or 5 week wait. It's quite a long wait you're getting for the shops on there, isn't it?
I can't believe anybody would send their bike to a bike shop to have a bottom bracket fitted.
I would have done before.
Serious, yeah, I know, but you'd have to be seriously mechanically inept to not be able to change the bottom bracket. You just have to have one hand like zippy, and so you couldn't do it properly. It's that easy. It's just.
Don't you need a special tool though?
You say that.
Well, the one.
Yeah, but what are they, 8 quid?
You wouldn't know where to start, would you?
Some people don't know how.
There's a YouTuber. Surely you know that anything you need to know is on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. Yeah, I watch it religiously for that fixing that.
I'd watch the YouTube videos, have a go, and then take it down the bike shop. That's what I'd do.
I try and do most of it myself. I don't touch suspension. I wouldn't like service shocks or forks because that's it can go horribly wrong, can't it? You make a mess. But anything else, I do myself. Changing headsets, bottom brackets, obviously drivetrain, the lot, bleeding brakes. And none of it's really that difficult. And it actually came from years ago when I took my bike to Evans in Croydon to get them to bleed my brakes. And they made such a bloody mess of it. I thought, no, I'm just going to do it myself. So I did. I looked it up on YouTube, did it myself. And when you've done it, you realise that there's nothing really to it. It's just
quite therapeutic as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
I enjoy it. When I did that spider clutch one, I actually really enjoyed it. I was proud of myself at the end of it. A, because it was still working. And B, because I just learned something totally that was going to save me so much money and time away from the bike. It was just brilliant. And when you look at it, even about the stock on there, yeah, Ian's saying I stock up when I can. Sometimes you can't get hold of stuff, and logistics are the problem too with everyone buying online. Yeah, because I guess trying to get it out to people is an absolute nightmare.
I've fitted 3 hubs. I've done my drop post. I've done my bled my brakes, but there's some things I don't know. I probably would. I always seem to cock up me if I try and index my gears. I always seem to go horrifically wrong with that. So,
the worst I seen. I've done with this take over, but the worst I seen was we went to Morzine years ago, and I don't know if anybody here ever goes on Single Track World, but there's a lad called Horror, and he's very well known in there, and he was with us, and he had a puncher in his back tire, and it wasn't tubeless, the tubing, he had a puncher, and he made us all wait for 2 hours before the bike shop opened to get his puncture fixed.
What?
Because
I'd have left it.
Well, that's extreme.
Yeah, that's just too far.
He's a very special, very, very special person, is Horror. He's the one that told me that the Peak District was great because there was no corners.
All right. Oh, I don't like it.
The worst horror I remember.
There's a few.
Was Mark's bike when it let him down at the Stiper Stones. I thought, look, there is a chain in here somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
But there's so much grease on his chain, and it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, I did go through a phase of not really keeping on top of the bike. But once, to be honest with you, I mean, I went to Ambleside with Jason, and that's when we hub went. I had to take it in to be serviced, and Midlands MTB did the service. It come to about 500 quid to put it all right. So ever since then, I've kept on top of it.
Yeah.
I've stripped it down. I've cleaned it all down after every single ride, and touch wood. It's
did you get some of that? Did you get some of that chain lube I told you to get?
No, I didn't. That's the wax you were on about, wasn't it?
The wax, the squirt wax lube.
I just stuck with the dry one, really. I've got dry lube all year.
Yeah. All of them are rubbish. Once you've tried the wax dry lube, you won't use anything else. You won't use anything else.
Matt, there's a question on there from Muddy Cyclist, by the way, which is quite pertinent, I think, at this time of it. Just under Ian Richards, logistics are a problem.
Right. Oh, no, not that one. Wrong one, sorry.
Up. Well, I don't know, actually.
There we go, yeah. That one. That's a good question, actually, isn't it? I mean,
that's a bit more serious, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
It's worth addressing, but I think it's affected everyone, hasn't it? It's, the ability to get out has certainly lifted me up. I was out without my bike for 3 months, and it affected me, no doubt. And I think this one's been the worst. First one, I think most people speak to the first one, they go, well, it was all right, wasn't it? The fact that there's a pandemic going on, we can ignore because it was cracking weather, we could get out. But this one, wintertime, it's just dragged, hasn't it? I don't know. It's been really bad. Yeah. But hopefully, fingers crossed, we're looking at a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel, and definitely 29th of March, roll on 29th of March.
I've been out twice since New Year, I have. So that's mainly down to I'm just not interested in the places I've got near me to ride.
Yeah,
I've got Canal Pass, and they're too narrow. People are always walking, and I'd rather be out in the open, and you can't travel to the open. So
yeah, I mean, I've been working from home since March last year, and I don't think we'll be going back any time really soon on there. So, but that definitely impacted me because you just don't have that human interaction with people. And I know at the start it was great weather and it was beautiful, but then I don't know, this one just felt a lot more serious, if that makes any sense. That the weather was rubbish, it was dark, and it just felt like there was no end in sight. When you were looking at it, it's just like you've got nothing to look forward to. And that's been I've personally really struggled this time around. I've had my ups and my down days, definitely, but that's where your good work colleagues come in and you kind of help each other out. And we're quite open about it in the workplace as well. So, yeah, but now we've got the 29th of March. Literally the first thing that I did, booked off full week. Went straight in. Yeah. Yeah, I went straight in and just booked the full week off because I thought, I'm having that week. I don't care. I want to get back out on the bike. But I'll be honest, during the lockdown, I kind of lost motivation to even ride my bike at times. I was just like, well, what's the point? I don't know. It was a real up and down time. So I think having the date set towards the end has given me a massive boost. And I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to get back out. And yeah, it's going to be a good one, hopefully.
Yeah.
I think that's where watching YouTube videos. I remember as a kid, I used to watch Kickstart, and I always used to make me want to go out on my bike and ride around and get off road on my little Tomahawk, Rally Tomahawk as a kid. And I just think it's the same thing. You read in magazines or you watch the YouTube videos. It just gives you that bit of I want to get out. All right, I know you'll say I'm a bit lucky because I've got half decent trails on the doorstep, but that always spurs me to get out. But it has been a tough one. This one definitely. It's been a drag, hasn't it?
Yeah, I've been much better since I laid my new patio. The house is dead quiet. Don't have anybody, shouting at me now. The patio's all done. A good 12 inches of concrete, and it's been brilliant. But seriously, it's in the Midlands. I don't think we've strung 4 days together that have been dry, that haven't rained, and that's been a massive thing because you can't go anywhere. I'm self-employed, and the furlough money that self-employed get has been ridiculous. So just haven't been able to afford to drive anywhere when we could. So that was very isolating during the last summer because I just didn't have any money. So that's been the biggest thing. Well, I go up the local woods and keep walking around and sawing all the trees down and that sort of thing, trying to keep places safe. But I'm looking forward to when we can all meet up properly and have a proper ride. I think that's going to be quite emotional for me. To actually get out on a proper ride and meet you all in for real.
I think you almost change your whole perspective. You start talking about going to the pub or things like that. Your perceptions over the last so many months have twisted so that you don't even think about it almost. It just seems an alien concept to think, just go down to the pub or just meet up with friends. Or, it's going to have to be a bit of readjustment, I think.
Yeah. It's going to be anxiety when you meet people again. I don't know, a little bit of anxiety there. And I know when I have got to get up and probably do the like an all-up meeting with the department that all those eyes looking at you at first. I think that's going to be really weird. I've kind of got used to this electronic virtual kind of communication, I guess, and actually having to do that in front of how many people, it's going to be a little bit nerve-wracking at first, I think.
And you're saving a fortune on razors.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, mate, I have got a wicked one. So for Christmas, I got one of these double-edged, what are they called? A double-edged blade one or something like that. But can't recommend it enough to you all. I've got rid of all the other ones. They're gone.
You mean you have to buy the individual blades?
Yeah. So it's got the like what you see in the films, don't you? Yeah,
the original safety razor.
Belter, absolutely. Yeah, best razor I've ever had in my life, and puts all those Gillettes to shame. I mean, the beard when it grows down it. Why are we talking about this stuff anyway? I won't do that.
Get yourself really good razor. Turkish barber. Get yourself to a Turkish barber and they'll do the job.
Look, let's just get it a bit punchy. What's the best bikes you've owned? You've got 1 minute to talk about it. Come on, I'll go first. I'll get my other one. And you can't choose your current bike, can you? Transition Pro Carbon. That was my previous bike to this one. That was absolutely stunning to look at, stunning to ride. If it had a motor, it would have been absolutely perfect. But that's my best bike. Prior to this one, obviously. There you go. Hi.
Right. Okay. Who's next?
Hi, Mum.
I'll go. Mine was Orange 222, and I think if I was to have it now, I'd bloody hate the thing. But back then, it was brilliant, and it wasn't just a bike. It was just around the time we were doing it, we were going away all the time. We were racing, we were just riding, getting drunk, having a laugh, and all those memories sort of revolve around that bike. But it was yeah, it was quite a nice build. It had this XTR in it, nice set of cherry red boxes, stuff like that. I think it only weighed something like 34 pounds. I got it really light. I remember going to France and a mate brought a heckler along, Santa Cruz heckler, and there wasn't much difference in the weight. But then, unfortunately, I crashed and tore the swing arm open on a tree stump, and that was the end of that. But that's my favourite.
Did you say, was it a 224, orange 224?
No, 222.
Because I've just seen Ian's comment down the bottom. Orange 224 he had was an absolute monster. Just looking at that, but
okay,
yeah.
So, well, I think that my favourite bike, well, other than the one I've got now, is probably the Orange Sub-Zero, which is a hardtail, which 2003 that was. And I first bought that bike when I broke my foot. I had a pretty bad accident at Dimmingsdale, of all places. Over a cattle grid, actually, not doing anything stupid. So yeah, I had me Orange Sub-Zero on order then, and I couldn't ride it for 6 weeks. But when I finally got out on it, it was, at the time, I thought it was the best bike ever. I mean, I loved that, you know, being a hardtail on that. When I had the Boardman in 2017, that was my first full suspension bike, that was. So I do miss the Orange Sub-Zero. I wouldn't mind getting another hardtail, but yeah, that's mine.
Yeah,
so who's next? John or Rich?
Yeah, I haven't had many, to be honest. ZEX Fuel 8 in 2005. I think it was 150, 140. And yeah, it was a brilliant bike. Just started to override it, really. So I had to get the Enduro. And yeah, that's great. But, I had my first mountain bike was a Bear Valley Marine hardtail. Probably 2 sizes too big for me as well, and the brakes never worked on it. So you used to go over a curb and you thought you was going over the handlebars.
Did you say it was a Bear Valley or a Bear Valley SE?
It was just a Bear Valley, I think. I don't think it was an SE. Still got it.
Oh yeah.
Chrome molly frame.
Yeah.
A grey one. It's probably a collector's item.
Links into I've got to say, my favourite bike ever, and again, probably same as Jason said, it'd be rubbish now, but I had a Marin Eldridge Grey that was my second bike, and it was the bike I really kind of started to build sort of skill on it, and I spent tons of money on it. I had it for years. I did races on it. I did all sorts, and it got nicked from the shed, and you know, I was offered a replacement of something like it was a Gary Fisher something or other, and I just thought it's not going to be the same thing. So I managed to sort of talk the insurance company around it to give me the current model of the same one, and they sort of eventually agreed. So, but yeah, but that bike for me, a 93 Eldridge grade, just great bike, rigid when I bought it, fully rigid. Put the forks on, but Manitou 3s, and which again rubbish now, but yeah, it was a great bike. Loved it.
Yeah, cantilever brakes weren't very good, were they?
They were rubbish, garbage. But what could you do at the time?
Yeah.
What would you say yours was? Favorite bike other than the one you've got? What is your favourite bike other than the one you've got now?
My favourite bike was the 2017 Trek Session 88. It was the downhill bike that I had, because I did some big stuff. Well, big stuff for me on it. I did the Multi 2000 challenge on it. I also did Morzine on it as well. It was just a great bike. It looked great. That's what I really liked about it. Black and red, and it just looked badass. You know, it looked proper badass. Not that I could really ride it that well, but I wish I could, because that bike looked the part. You know what I mean? And that by far is the best bike. It's the most expensive bike I've had as well. But I think I got it second hand, and it was $3,000 second hand. So I was really sad to let that go. I actually didn't want to sell it, but I wasn't riding it. Like, you need to. It's only good, really, if you're riding it at places like Morzine or in this country, Revs, really. Where else are you going to ride a bike like that? Unless you're racing downhill. It's not worth it. So, that was a great bike, that was.
So I'll just show this comment from Bert Guzzlers.
Been a porn star and a builder. In fact, those two jobs go together.
I thought he was a child entertainer, Jason. Rich is the false star.
Funny enough, one of my mates, Cushing, the guy I used to do Stop Noodle Do with, he once put an advert in, I think it was the Penge Times in sort of London. The advert said, "Erotic clown for hire. Children's parties a speciality." He didn't get any response.
The police were knocking at the door very, very quickly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, him and his mates, they were a bit odd. He was also telling me that one night they'd had a few drinks. They decided to make a new food stuff called the chunion, a chocolate-covered onion. And he said literally they peeled the onion and everything else. They boiled the chocolate, they dipped it in, they put it on sticks, ate it, and all vomited. So it was. He said that the thing what it was a great catchy name, the chunion. But the reality, it just didn't work. So that was that. Dream's gone.
The old chundered the chunion.
Oh, here's what I've missed. What beers are we all drinking?
Yeah, I've got a banging.
On here.
I'm on the
headache, so I'm on water.
What's calling?
It's a hazy Jane.
Water.
You're all very healthy.
You're all
You're not bad.
Hey, first place we're going to ride, though. Where is the first place you're going to ride? I've got to be honest, I want to go back to Eastridge, I think, as my first ride. Jason and I kind of did that one when we came out of the first lockdown, didn't we, as a ride up there. And it's a place that I know well that's going to test me, but I just don't want anything. I've been off the bike for over 3 months, haven't I, realistically? So, yeah, it's a crazy one. But Eastridge is where I want to get back to that place. I love it. Jason introduced me to it, and
it's good fun.
And One Giant Leap, love it totally.
Yeah.
And on the e-bike, it's amazing, absolutely amazing, because you just smash that hill.
I quite fancy Eastridge, actually.
Yeah.
Last time we went, we did them steep ones the first time. Want it, so I wouldn't mind having come back and have another crack at that, to be honest.
Well, you've already said we're off on that week, aren't we? I put that week off. You've got that time, so we get that ride going. And then I've got to do a group ride as well, because I had one lined up for, just before this lockdown, 6 of us to go out and do that. So I need to get that back on the game, and that's at Eastridge again.
That's when we went to they did the Lancashire ride instead, wasn't it? Was it?
Yeah, we did, because I couldn't travel. Yeah, it's just not worth taking the risk going through Wales and over there, and then you never know what people are going to say, and it just wasn't worth it. So yeah, that's for me anyway. What about you guys? Where are you going, Jason? Lakes?
Lakes. No two ways about it. First ride back on the lakes. It's a no-brainer. It has to be.
Which one?
That's the question, isn't it? I think part of the problem will be where will you get parked, because I think everybody will head to the lakes that weekend.
Yeah.
The world.
When are we meant to be able to ride anyway?
29th of March.
Well, they're saying from the 29th of March, but they're saying they recommend
stay local advice.
Guidance is that you stay local, but bollocks to that. Guidance is guidance. It's not a law.
Yeah,
it's like you should and must, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, I put
yes, we didn't go to bed.
Yeah, I haven't heard a cup being.
I put a post on Facebook the other day about the cut gate, and I said to somebody that I can't wait till we can get back out and travel. And his reply to that was, "There's no restrictions. You can travel." That was the first for me.
Now.
Yeah, so I don't know what your thoughts on that is.
I think some people don't know what the rules are anyway. They just do what they like.
Yeah. I think you've got to take it. I think it's a really emotive topic, isn't it? There's no doubt when it comes to where you can go and where you can't go. But I just looked at it and thought I just can't sort of put myself out there realistically, because it's not only that, we're putting it all over YouTube. And if you're there going around traveling and recording it and putting it on YouTube, it's just a bit of a lack of respect, I think, to people that are actually having to stay in, and all those people that are having to work. So it's not it was a really tough one, that, because your selfish part, or my selfish part was like, I don't care, I want to go out and ride. I've been stuck in the house all week. And Jason, you'll be the same, and anybody else that's working from home, you're in the house all week, aren't you? And you've got nothing to look forward to at the weekend, apart from this little terror, but that's fine. But it is. Yeah, somebody in the work actually put on there, they went, weekends are now just an extended lunch break. And I thought, you've got that so spot on. They literally are, because I work and live and everything in this room. It's Hey, you. This is my daughter as well. Now she must have seen yours coming up, Jason. I thought, right, I'm coming up as well.
Wait, where's
Sarah's gone now.
Because you can just.
She's gone to feed the neighbour's cat. As weird as that sounds.
She's gone to feed the neighbour's cat.
What, to the dog?
Cool. Oh, whoa! Hang on, what's that? Look at the Matthew Fellows comment.
Drag that comment up.
Stop.
What the hell? Oh, don't tell us that, man. Is it still decent or not? Because that is just going to send me over the edge. If Eastridge has just been destroyed, that's just gutting.
Yeah, Pin TV said there was some tree felling being done, but I don't know where it is and if any of the trails are going to be affected.
Can I say hi?
I'm trying to think with Eastridge, if it's all pine or if there's deciduous forest there as well, because if it's deciduous, they can't touch it, can they? So only if it's pine.
There is deciduous there. I don't think it's all pine. Because I remember when the helicopter was coming over, we were at the top of the steep one.
Unless it's ash dieback, unless they've got chopping down ashes trees because they've got that dieback thing.
Yeah. Oh, I'll be gutted.
But if it does, it'll come back. It'll come back just as good. They always do.
There you go, Jason.
Yeah. How did you find it, Ian?
He's still typing. It's a good sign.
Yeah.
Did you manage to get down it, including the step bit? He'll
have a video coming out soon, won't he? If he's done that, that'll be on the video for it. Let's get that on there. We'll maybe get him on the show and he can talk it through to us.
That'll be impressive if he's done that.
Have you seen his Ridgeline videos?
He's done that.
He's good. He's good with his marketing on his videos. I'm sure he won't mind me saying, because you remember when the Athertons came out with the Ridgeline video, which was just insane. Literally, it must have been about a week later or so. Ian had gone up to that ridgeline and posted it. In fact, he was on EMBN doing a Happy Christmas from that little line up there. But I tell you, when you look at his video of it, you see kind of exactly what it is. Jesus Christ, they're superhuman efforts to do that. I just can't wrap my head around it. But watch it afterwards, and you'll see, Jason. I think you'll really enjoy that kind of the trail that he does all the way to the bottom. It looks insane, some of it. One of it, I swear to God, he just rolled down a vertical rock face. It's like, you nutter.
Ian didn't clear it anyway.
So
he didn't clean it.
I've never been to Bucknell before.
Time,
You've ever been there, Dave?
I've been there to film a downhill race, but I haven't actually ridden it.
No.
So I've been there. I made a YouTube video there whilst I was in
I don't remember that, yeah. After you got your collarbone, that was, wasn't it?
Was it? Yeah, it's collarbone, yeah.
You really need to go on the uplifts for it because it's so big.
Yeah, it looked a good track, definitely. Looked well worth a visit.
Yeah.
But like,
we'll have to go up there, won't we?
Yeah.
I reckon Ian would have done it on the Rocky Mountain. It's just because he was on one of those rubbish Canevos.
An update on Eastridge.
Here's Cycles does uplifts for it at certain times, so you can get in there. If you get to their shop or find them online, Peer Cycles, they'll hook you up with uplifts. They do quite a few of the ones that they do the downhill races on.
Yeah.
Dizzy's just done what I did with Greg Sharp in the comments bit. You better laugh at him the same as you did me.
What's that?
Ian, what's your channel, mate? Same as what I did for Greg. But Matthew's just confirmed. He said that student champs, etc., they're open, but Into the Steep is still open, which is good. Is he saying student champs is closed? We never got to do that one, did we? And I think Jason you said that was quite a. Oh, right.
It's tough going. It's the one, Dave, you did student champs in yours. It was the one. I think it was the first video you did from Eastridge. And could have been the last track you did before you went back, and you were saying, "Good God, this is bloody crazy."
Yeah.
And I think you got to the bottom and you were amazed you were still on the bike. It's that way.
Is Matt Fellows the one I know who had a bad accident recently? Well, probably 6-8 months ago now. He was in hospital for quite some time. If that's the same Matt, I hope you're doing well and you're back on the bike. His daughter is Jenna, and she does downhill racing. She's about 15, 16.
Oh, is that the one we met up with, Mark? When we were there?
When was it? Eastridge,
the same one. If you can comment to say it's the same one.
Nice one.
Both really sound, actually. And if I remember rightly, isn't Jenna a seriously good rider?
Definitely up for being shown around Bucknell.
Yeah,
Anyway,
Jenna's a good rider. She's
we'll take you up on that.
Yeah.
Definitely. Oh, Ian said, Knievel shite. Yeah, you're right, mate. I tell you, it's a shocker. But no, they're meant to be good bikes, aren't they, them? Travel on the Rocky, so it's 160, 150 on there. So, yeah, it does all right, to be honest with you. I quite like it. It's not got the best suspension on the rear, in fairness. It could do with a coil on the rear, I think. That would be the next thing. But again, it's really expensive. And I've been looking at the forks. You can actually, I don't know what they're called, so apologies for lack of knowledge, but it's like an air spring or something that you can put into that fork and convert it to something better. But I guess realistically, I need to be a better rider to actually understand the difference that all of that will make to my bike on there.
Well, that's brilliant. That's brilliant news, Matt. Matt's just said he's back on the bike. So
that's good.
There we go, then. Yeah.
He did a massive overshoot on a jump, I think, and really smashed himself up proper. That's brilliant news.
Nice one.
It's been a few, isn't it? Paul's still not good, is he? He's I was messaging him last night. He's I think he's got to go under the knife by the sounds of it for his shoulder. He did his collarbone, didn't he?
He's got to go under the knife again. I thought we already had surgery.
No, I think there was something he was saying about that one. I don't know if he's still watching or not, but yeah, no, he's got to wait for another operation. It's not sorted out, not fixed at all. He said he can't get it above his shoulder height.
Bloody hell! So
that's something you were looking at him. Sorry, Dave. Go on, carry on.
What's he done to his shoulder? What's he actually done to it?
The humerus bone, apparently, it's frozen in the socket or something. I don't want to give out too much because obviously I don't want to put it all out there for Paul. But it's got
your medical record.
Yeah. But yeah,
wasn't that something you were looking at, Christian? The mullet.
Yeah, I really want to look at that. It was, and I'm glad because Pin TV's done it. Who's done that? Ian? Yeah, I'm running 40s on the front now. Yeah, it's meant to be really good. I want to do a mullet on the Rocky. I really do because it's meant to be sort of quite a game changer on that. I know Jim does it with the Olins on his Rocky. So it's quite handy in getting that Rocky as a sponsor because now I can actually see what goes on the bike that's good and what works, etc. So yeah, and I'm going to hopefully get to do the same, to be honest, myself.
I'll tell you what, Matt, he broke his back and his pelvis. To get back on the bike, mate, you've got some balls.
Yeah, just seen that comment somewhere.
Get back on your bike after doing that. That takes a lot.
Jesus.
Yeah. Fair play.
Was that a bike accident as well, did you say?
Yeah.
Overshot a
big jump. As far as I know,
it shows you how dangerous this sport is, and you do kind of take it for granted, especially when I was watching my Grisdale one coming back, and I was just like, "Oh, if I come off here, that's bad." But at the time, you just don't care, do you? You're in that moment,
yeah. And then in a moment, you're down. But that's a serious one. That is cracky.
Yeah, that's a good follow-up question straight afterwards as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I wear pads, knees, full face. But I don't wear body armor or anything like that. I probably should do, to be honest.
No, I've got the POC chest and back protector. And I only put that on when I'm going to. I wore it at Aston Hill, but if I'm going to a proper downhill place, I probably would wear it. A downhill park.
Yeah, definitely.
Mostly it's just knee pads, POC knee pads and elbow pads. And full face. If I'm going more than 15 mile an hour, I'll wear a full face because it's just too expensive to fix teeth.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it's knee pads, elbow pads on there, but I would like one of those chest plates. I think because I've come off a couple of times, you just realise how painful it is when that handlebar goes in your chest. It's not comfortable, is it? So
yeah, I know. Breaking ribs, you know about it. The POC one's really good.
Dave, as well, you must have had a few armours that or some body armour you've needed after some of those crashes. What about you? What do you wear?
Yeah, I used to wear, like when I was doing downhill, I used to wear all the body armour and neck brace and that. But it's really restrictive wearing it. So I just binned all that off now. I just knee pads.
Yeah.
Knee pads, pads. And maybe elbow pads with a full face, obviously. But yeah, other than that, I don't bother. The only one I'm worried about, the only one I think, oh, maybe I should wear it, is the neck brace, just because I'm so worried about breaking my neck and then being paralysed.
Yeah, just your collarbone, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that people say, oh, yeah, well, wearing the brace breaks your collarbone. But is it like saving your neck? You don't know, do you? Maybe it's just saving your neck. I don't know.
I think in general the neck brace has gone out of fashion because I don't think it did the job it was meant to, and I think the helmet designs now I think stop that movement. I think they're designed to stop that instead of the neck brace.
I don't know.
I'll be honest.
Neck brace work.
You don't see many people wearing them on even the professional downhill stuff.
They're
too restrictive. They stop your head moving.
That's the problem.
When you're riding, you're like that, aren't you? You got your head up, it's an angle like that. But it's at the back. You can't get your head far enough back, so you're peering through there. They're uncomfortable. I'll be honest. The only thing I wear is knee pads, and like the ride I did on Sunday, I didn't even bother with them. I'll be asked. I just do not like body armour. I hate elbow pads. I've had some in the past, and I found they just cut into my arms or they slid down. And when they cut into your arms, you get worse arm pump because, I don't know, the blood pressure building up or something like that. Full face helmets, I don't like them at all. I prefer open face. Look at the state of me anyway. It doesn't matter if I smash this up, does it? So it's true, isn't it?
I don't possess one either, Jason. Well, you've got one, haven't you, Jason? I don't even possess one. I only bought knee pads about 2 years ago, and I did get some elbow pads at the same time, but I rarely use them, and they're only the really kind of basic ones. And I'm not stupid, really, because I'll be the sort of person it'll be Ursula bolted, and I'll be going, well, I should have had a full face. I should have had somebody on, but I'm a fool to myself.
I've got a lovely one. I've got a full black carbon Troy Lee Designs D3 helmet. It's beautiful, and I've used it. I used it for a week, 2 weeks in the Alps, and then I took it to Spain, but never bothered wearing it. I just wore my normal helmet instead, and I've worn it twice since. It just sits. It was like 350 quid, and it's like, what a waste of bloody money that was. Got a Elite net brace. I took it to France once, wore it for 2 days, hated it. Never worn it since. I mean, if anyone wants it, not my helmet, but the neck brace, you can have it. I've got full, Troy Lee Designs. It's like the body armor T-shirt thing with all the padding in. It's in the shed. Never wear it. Don't like it. I'd rather have freedom of movement any day.
Yeah. It's what you're used to, isn't it, sometimes? I went about 5 years without wearing knee pads because I just didn't like the feel of them. Just wore elbow pads. That was it. But once you get used to something, you're right. Yeah,
once you've seen Dave's knee open up in hospital and the nurse sticking swabs deep inside his kneecap to get all the dirt out that he got in there, you'd never want to go anywhere without knee pads, trust me.
I was wearing pop knee pads when that happened.
They got ripped off.
Pads.
So don't get that. Is that what we say?
That crash was so bad, like even the knee pad couldn't save it. Do you know what I mean? It's just
it's a really bad surface, isn't it? There,
I probably would have broke my knee if I hadn't had that pad on.
Yeah.
So like, the skin got ripped off, and I had to have plastic surgery. It was like, it could have been a lot worse if I didn't have the pad on. So probably lucky I did have it on.
The surface at Sandwell is just horrendous. They use road planings for the surface, so if you come off, you just get shredded.
Yeah, it is like going onto knives, basically.
Yeah,
going onto knives.
There's one thing I think we're all agreed on. We've all got helmets, and when you see people riding without them, I think that just it kind of blows my mind a little bit.
Yeah, Leeds Urban Bike Park. I've never seen so many people without helmets on as that place. That was ridiculous. That was really crazy.
You'll see a few at Sherwood Pines. I know that much.
No, because I'm not going there, mate.
No, I'll send you a video next time I go.
Yeah, I like the full face helmet, which with a detachable chin, same as Mark's. And that's got MIPS inside of it.
Yeah, I wouldn't wear an half-lid anymore, other than just sort of doing a fitness ride or something. Yeah, if I'm doing anything that we've been doing recently, I'd have to wear full face, I think.
It only
Yeah.
takes.
You wore a half shell when you came on the Chester lockdown ride.
I did, yeah.
And...
Yeah. That's because you told me it's only a lockdown ride. How bad can it be?
I think you got your video with it, aren't you? So you use your helmet. Your helmet's part of your video setup. So, you know, and that's for a lot of YouTubers. The full face is part of that. You know, that's where you put your camera, isn't it? It's the. So that's it. Would you wear it as much? I suppose that's the point, isn't it? If you were just doing more normal rides, would you wear that full face if you had your camera? If you didn't use it for your camera,
I probably would. I'd probably take the chin bar off more often if I had my chest cam more. Yeah, definitely.
I'm looking at the Hero 9 with the Max Mod lens on it. I'd like to get that so I could ditch the gimbal and everything and get a bit more updated.
But then you've got problems with the Hero 9.
There's some noise problems. Yeah, they get a lot of crackling noises on the audio. But they're the first lot out. So I'm hoping by the time I can afford one, which might be to the end of this year, that they've sorted that out. Because if they ain't sorted it out, it'll go straight back. I'm still using the Hero 4 Black with the gimbal.
Have you've got a DJI? I can't remember what it's called, the DJI one.
Yeah, it's okay for filming mountain bike stuff.
Right.
As an extra camera, it's great, but it's not got a wide enough vision.
So you used that one at Lady Bower, didn't you? And you
that's why, I can remember.
Yeah, you were happy with it, was you?
I deleted the footage by accident on that, but it was just too narrow. You just lose too much.
Yeah.
Is that through their stabilization?
Stabilizations was loads better than the GoPro, but now the latest GoPro 9, I think they've probably nicked each other's software or whatever, or just hacked the camera and used that system.
But it's the extra cost with the 9, isn't it? Because it's bigger, so you need that larger case. The batteries from your 7 and your 8 won't work in it either because it needs different batteries. So, it's not just the camera you're buying there. You're going to have to buy, the extra case to go with it, the extra batteries to go with it. And that's a massive cost because the camera on its own is not cheap. And I know you get the bundle, but I love the 7. I think the 7's a fantastic bit of kit, to be honest with you. Stabilization is brilliant.
Well, if you can imagine, I'm going from the Hero 4 and I'm going to jump right to the 9.
Oh, you're going to be in heaven. But I went from the 5 to the 7.
Yeah,
and I could have got the 8, but I didn't go for it.
Can I just interject for a second? Rich, have you seen Mark's video about the 8-man camera?
It's very popular.
Everybody else has about a million times.
Probably have. I don't think you felt that much of it, did you? In the end,
I don't know. 5,000 people have watched. How many have watched it now? That video.
Oh, David, it's close to 10.
Your best performing video has got what?
Every time
8-man camera.
Every time I look at analytics and I think, which video is done well this week? The 8-man top tube view video comes out on top.
Really?
About
they can't even buy the camera anymore, can you?
It's annoying me now.
Making money from it.
I hope not.
No, I'm not making money from it because I think people are only watching first 5 seconds. It's that bad.
Sure, it's not.
Maybe think it's something to do with a Kinks song or something like that.
Not 29
the video and it's like, oh my god, it's some bloke's top tube. What's this about?
Some people like it.
What, your top tube?
Love it. You've got to see Ian saying he was going to get the 9, but it looks like the 8 outperforms it. You've got the 8, haven't you, Jason? It's a great camera. It is a good one on there. Certain bits I'm not keen on about replacing that lens. You can't take the lens off. That's the only bit that gets me. But that's about it, really.
Yeah, but I mean, I've not had to put it to the test yet. But I imagine you can probably find places that will replace the lens if needs be.
Yeah,
I don't think it's the end of the world. So
I watched a video about replacing the lenses on the 8, and it's not the easiest thing to do. You got to get heat guns and stuff on it, and I don't know.
Really?
I wouldn't do that myself.
Seems like they shot.
I mean, I might take a bottom bracket out, but I'm not. No, nothing with electronics.
My 7's been all right for it. Crashed on that Grisdale run, that good one, and it's crashed a couple of times after that. But mine's been all right. I'll be honest with you, there, Ian, mate.
Mine hasn't crashed yet. touching a bit of the old wood there, yeah.
So it's the only thing I'd probably disagree with. I don't think it is that superior, the 8 over the 7, to be honest with you. I think the 7's an absolute incredible bit of kit for what it is on there, and you get good quality, don't you? It depends. I think it's not so much the camera. I think it's the actual settings that you put into that camera to make it work. So behind the scenes,
I can be very sensitive to that.
Yeah, definitely. It's about your EV. You got to have that at least at a -1 if you've got certain settings. There's so many things that change it around. Even the colouring, I leave mine as flat because I do all mine in DaVinci afterwards. But you get great colouring from it. You've got yours.
I think the Hero 7 is brilliant for the colouring because I leave mine on colour. I don't touch the colouring. Yeah. I'm more than happy with it.
I think they need to go up to the 1-inch sensor. Really, I think they're trying to fit too many pixels in a small format, and I think it stops the light. The light pixels aren't sensitive enough because they're so close together. It doesn't gather as much light as a one that's less pixels. So
we're opening up a fanboy debate. We've got 7s and 8s arguing here.
Yeah.
Ian, the 8's far superior to 7. But then Russ is saying that quality 7's pretty good. Yeah, there we go. You can expect the 8 to be better.
I would agree with that. It's good.
I think the cameras are starting, the basic ones. So that's why everybody likes that 4 for the audio. They said it's really good. But I think a lot of that, even phones or anything like that, they're trying to be more than what they are. It's not just an action camera now. It's something you can do a live show on your Facebook, and you can transmit it over here. Everything's going into that part of it. And actually, I think the main focus needs to be on just being an action camera and using it for that sole purpose for me. But I don't know.
Convergence, is that the word?
Yeah.
Am I making it up? I don't know.
Probably. What is it? Toxic masculinity?
Right. That's a real term.
I read it after you said it. It came up on Facebook or something like that. It's like, he actually knew what he was talking about there. Maybe it is.
Every now and again. What's the year now?
What? Is the girl out of the room?
My able-bodied assistant is really helping a lot tonight.
We've been going for over an hour now. I don't know if you want to start wrapping it up at that.
Yeah. Get Dave to do a comedy song or something like that to see that out with, like a little jingle.
Do us a little jingle, sing us out.
So if you get it on full screen on Dave, everyone, he's going to give us a little song right now. So here he comes.
Sing
us out.
That's a dance, Dave, not a song. He's waving.
Oh, Ian, sorry, I want to quickly answer that one for Ian. You're right, 7 in the dark is PAP, but you need to lower your ISO down to at least 400 or 800, and it is a massive amount better from that, and make sure your EV is done.
My ISO is permanently 3,200, and it doesn't have any issues in the dark. My 7 doesn't.
Yeah, you've got to change it because it does. What's it go up to 8,000 or something?
I've never had to change it. I've never changed it. I've never had an issue.
But I definitely had issues before I started changing that around on there, to be honest with you. I mean, it was horrific. You got all that noise in your footage and it just looked crap. So, yeah, I changed that all around, and it's made a massive difference for me riding in the dark. That's for sure. I think even on our long reach one, that's pretty bad in there, isn't it? That darkness in there.
Yeah, both our footage turned out all right in there, isn't it?
That's another place I can't wait to get back to, actually. I know I said Eastridge, but that place is definitely on the cards as well. That is, Jason, you know when you just ride a trail and you think, Jason Heaven, this one, definitely. I can't wait for you to go down that. And we did the easiest one. Apparently, there's another 3-4 tracks, which are actually harder.
There was one that was 3 times longer than the one we did, wasn't there? I think whoever it was that told you about them, it wasn't quite as technical as that one we did.
Yeah.
But it's longer.
That was some trail, that though. Jeez.
Yeah.
So you're coming back to Hebden, gents. Yeah, I think I want to come back there because I had a bad ride there. To be
definitely.
Honest with you, so.
Yeah.
That
was my favourite ride of 2020. That was Hebden.
Yeah.
It's just great there. There's so much. We haven't even scratched the surface yet either. It's brilliant. Love it. Yeah. When I used to live in Bingley, I used to pop over there quite a lot because it was so close. Really miss it. So yeah, I'll be back. No two ways about it.
I want to go to Dovey as well. I've just seen Ian Super Swooper. I know it's crazy, but I'm desperate to go to that place. That looks incredible there. It looks really good. I mean, I won't be able to do 3/4 of the trails. I'll just be on that Super Sweeper all day, but I'll be happy.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to do much there, really. But
Dizzy's been asked to go to Hebden Bridge. On there. Cool, you should get there, mate. I look forward to that video. I need to get him to his bridge.
As long as he takes 2 pairs of underpants.
Yeah.
I'm some bothering.
Rican as well. Yeah, I want to.
Just lost a subscriber.
I want to link up with I want to link up with Jimbo actually for a video down at the Rican.
Yeah, we're going to do the Rican. We will go back to the Rican.
Yeah.
Won't be the first place we revisit, I'm sure.
Be
But
about the
we
12th.
are going to go. We're definitely going to go back there, and we've got a few places in mind. Hebden.
Well, you're going to come to Warncliffe, gents. Anyway, after
I do want to do that.
yeah,
I do fancy Warncliffe, to be honest.
I've just been there once, and it was just before I had my bike issues. And I tell you what, I'm itching to go back. So that's a definite must.
Mark, you've got your own job named after you.
The Eastridge.
What?
How much steeper is the Rican than the Eastridge?
Oh, mate, it's a totally different. It's just doesn't it? Eastridge is like Degler compared to some of that stuff at the Rican. But I'll be honest with you, Longridge made the Rican.
I think when me and
less
Rich went,
tame.
when me, Rich, and Will went Eastridge, we only really did the one steep line, didn't we?
Yeah,
Or
probably.
two.
I don't know. We needed to search the place a lot more and ride
It's
it.
steeper than that at the Rican that me and Christian did last time we went, but the Rican is steeper than that. It was ridiculously steep, but yeah, we definitely going to head back to the Rican. No doubt about that.
I want to do that line. We basically sort of walked down some of it. Well, I walked down most of it. In fairness, the one at Longridge, I want to have another look at that line because that was just insane.
There's just a couple of features I just bottled it on. Like Longridge. I think I pretty much attempted it all, apart from that one bit, didn't I? That one bit at the top was like a drop off, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think if you nail that, you go straight into
isn't it?
bit as well.
I've enjoyed those videos, to be honest. They look more like comedy sketches than actual mountain bike trails.
That's standard for me,
It's
Rich.
very entertaining.
I enjoy your videos because it's like a time warp because we go back 3 years to when you recorded the footage and
No, it is a bit like that. It
He's
is.
Rich in 1997. Here's me. Hi.
I'm trying to edit at the moment. I'm trying to edit Stiper Stones.
Those Stiper Stones.
When was that? 2005.
I just haven't been able to get anywhere, have I? It's just been horrendous.
Are you not on furlough?
I don't get any money. I'm self-employed, so you get nothing.
You don't need money to edit, mate. You just turn your computer on and edit. You'll be all right.
Yeah, no, but I've got 2 videos left to do. I've got Stiper Stones and I've got the Trail Rider, Patreon ride. That's all the video I've got left because and the furloughs. I can't afford to spend 50 quid every weekend to have come and ridden with you lot.
Yeah, but we'll sort that out this year, mate. You'll be coming out. I'm quite sure of it.
Hopefully, but, again, I'll be coming out of all this lot, and I'll have no money.
No, I didn't know that line.
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard, to be honest. Furlough for self-employed has been a joke. I hope that someone will be pushing through a compensation claim or something for it, because it isn't fair. But enough of that.
It's all right. We've got something to cheer you up, Rich. When you actually get back to us, just go and put up Dizzy's one on there because he's doing this.
I've just seen this.
This is
this.
Where it is. You're doing this, Dizzy. Now you've said this loads of times. I am desperate to see this
road gap challenge.
Yeah.
We'll be filming.
Delamere.
Which road gap?
Look at Jason's video.
The M1.
Oh, the one that he crashed on in that.
No, the one that he didn't do. It's the big road gap.
It's big. The one at Delamere. If you ever watched any of the Earth films years ago, then it's the one that Steve Pete and Nigel Page are doing in Hardtails.
Right.
It's big.
Yeah.
It really is.
So Dizzy likes hospital food then.
And 50 Twixes. He's getting 50 Twixes for doing it as well, I think. Was that the deal?
Twixes.
Yeah, he likes a He likes those two chocolate fingers. We know what he's like.
Chocolate finger? Yeah, I don't want to know about that.
Leaves a couple of chocolate fingers on the trail.
I'll say if you're having a go, Rich.
No, I like. No, probably not. Not a road gap.
I can guarantee you, Rich, you won't be trying it, mate. Trust me, you'll be the same as me. We'll be there with the cameras. I'll get the drone, do some follow footage down on there.
Yeah.
Get 250.
16 cameras watching him do it.
Yeah, Ian will do it. I reckon Ian's probably got it on there. That'll be interesting. Didn't Jimbo say he was up for doing this? I saw Jimbo said he wanted to do it.
Jimbo, we made out that Jimbo was saying he was up for it. He never actually said he was. We sort of twisted it round. No. The only person who said he's up for it, well, I know Mitko is.
Yeah.
But the only person, who it'd be a surprise, who said they want to do it is Mr. Dizzy.
Yeah. He said he'll have a go.
Definitely. Ride bike, walk places. You've not got a chance.
You think we should talk him out of it?
No.
He's not sure whether to do his hardtail is downhill bike though.
Mark, just put him in that naughty corner again.
Downhill bike for that.
Sorry.
Put Rich in the naughty corner.
Rich.
Don't be talking Dizzy out.
It's a funny one, actually. You'd think downhill bike, and I'd say for Dizzy, do it on downhill bike. But the running, it looks horrible. On a hardtail, you're going to get up to speed quicker, and you're going to get more pump out of it. You'd probably be better doing it hardtail. If you were able to clean it, I think it'd be easier to clean it on a hardtail. To be honest.
Yeah.
It sounds stupid, but they're just better at jumping.
Yeah.
A downhill bike, they just soak it up. Bam, like that.
Yeah. There is that, but if he cases it, he's going to get ejected big time.
Yeah. I am actually going to have to shoot off, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Now.
We're going to wrap it up at this now anyway. It's been an hour and 17 minutes. It's been a good laugh. I've enjoyed this one again. So the next one will be on is it Jason's channel? You are doing the next one, Jason? Or is it going to be Jonathan?
Yeah.
He said yes now, that's it.
I just have to make sure she's in bed on time.
Yeah. So the next live stream will be on Stop a Doodle Doo's channel. So all the links to the channels in this live stream are in the description. Make sure you head down there, subscribe to everyone, and hopefully you enjoyed the live stream. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Cool. Cheers, folks. See ya.
Bye.
Time for the